everyone, today I got this box in the mail, which should contain my copies of MONSTA X's English album, All About Love. That album was released on Valentine's Day, and I pre-ordered my copies back around when the album was first announced. Sometime back in December was when I pre-ordered it. And unfortunately, I actually regret doing that. Nothing to do with the album itself. I actually do enjoy all of the songs on the album. But there are a couple reasons why I regret pre-ordering from that particular source. The first of those is the shipping time. When I placed my order, it stated that it would ship on or around February 12th, which was 2 days before the album's release date, meaning that the items should arrive on or a little bit after the release date, which is normal for pre-orders. However, my items did not ship on the 12th, they did not ship on the 13th, they did not ship on the 14th. Mine actually got back-ordered and said that they wouldn't ship out until the 20th. Fortunately, they did end up shipping before the 20th. They shipped on February 18th, and I received them on February 25th. So, about 11 days after the album actually came out, I ended up ordering a vinyl copy through Target the weekend of the album's release, and I got that like several days before I got this order. Theoretically, I could have ordered the actual CDs from Target as well and gotten them quicker. In some places, you can actually go into Target stores and pick them up, and I'm sure some other retailers as well. But I looked at my store locator, and there weren't any in the stores near me anyway, so that wouldn't have been an option, but I could have gotten them shipped quicker. Okay, this is very bizarre. It looks like the items are separately packaged within the packaging. I've never seen this before. This is very bizarre. I'm guessing this is going to be my standard version, and these will be my deluxe versions, and the deluxe versions is the other reason I regret pre-ordering. We're gonna get to those when I open those up. I was very concerned for a second because I ordered the picture disc vinyl as well, and that seriously just looks like it's the bottom of the box. And I was like, oh, where's my vinyl? But it's actually a piece of cardboard that lifts up, and the vinyl is underneath it. So there we go. So I'm going to show you that first because there's not really a whole lot to get into with picture disc vinyl. That is the front. It is the album cover, and honestly, if I had known that they were doing the standard LP version, I may not have picked up the picture disc. Picture discs are cool to look at, but I actually do prefer the standard LPs when those are released because those come with the big booklets, and the picture discs, you don't get any kind of booklet, you just get the disc. But I don't regret purchasing this necessarily. Though, like I said, I probably would have just opted for the other vinyl option had I known that was going to be available from the start. Like I said, on the front, it's got the main album cover, which I don't like this design. I've never liked this design. I don't understand what this design is supposed to be. But that being said, I actually like it the most in this picture disc form out of all of the other variations of it that I've seen. Then on the back, we have this picture of 6 of the members. One thing that is unfortunate about this album is that when these photo shoots were shot, Wonho was still a member of the group at the time, and rather than shooting new photo shoots, they just went back and photoshopped him out of all of the pictures. Which would be less weird if they hadn't left his voice in all of the recordings on the album. So definitely some mixed messages on that front. It's like, okay, so he's not a member anymore, but we left him in the songs, but we had to go back and Photoshop him out of all the pictures. I don't understand why it was okay to leave him in one and not the other. That doesn't make sense to me. But I'm not involved in record label stuff, so I don't know. Maybe it's a legal thing. But that being said, it's a fine picture disc. Would be a little bit better if I didn't know that there was some awkward Photoshop shenanigans going on, but it is what it is. And the album has 11 songs on the physical copy. Side A of the vinyl has Who Do You Love, featuring French Montana, Love You, Happy Without Me, Got My Number, and Someone Someone. And then side B has Middle of the Night, She's the One, You Can't Hold My Heart, Misbehave, Beside You, featuring Pitbull, and then the bonus track, which is the remix of Who Do You Love, featuring French Montana and Will I Am. The physical copies do not include the additional version of Beside You, which features a rap from I Am. Now, before I open up the odd packages which have my CD copies, I do want to quickly point out my packing slip. So this packing slip has the official item names for each of the items, which is what they are shown as in the web store and what they were shown as when you pre-ordered them. So for the standard versions, they're listed as All About Love and then the member album art. I chose Minhyuk's because Minhyuk is currently my main bias in the group, now that Wonho is no longer officially a member. And so that right there, to me, implied that the only thing different about those versions was the album art. They would all have the same content, it was just the cover would be different. And that happens. There are many times when groups will have different member covers and then the actual contents of the album will be specific to that member, but then there are also times when the contents will be exactly the same and it's just the cover art that's different. So I always assumed that was the case here. However, the deluxe versions. The deluxe versions, as you can see, were listed as Deluxe Photo Book 1, Deluxe Photo Book 2, Deluxe Photo Book 3, and Deluxe Photo Book 4, which, to me, implies that the photo books are going to be different and unique to each version. From what I have seen online and in unboxings, I haven't fully watched them because I didn't want to get spoiled, but I've listened to them. Yeah, according to that, the deluxe versions, the 4 different versions, are all exactly the same, which I am not happy about. I, of course, don't blame the group because they had no say in this. This is all on Epic. I was hopeful that because there were 4 different deluxe versions and the cover art seemed to follow the pattern that MONSTA X has used since the Connect, 4 different versions that put together make the complete album art. So I figured that the photo books would then follow that format as well, with each photo book having a different concept. But it looks like Epic only saw, okay, we've got 4 different versions and they all have different covers and you have to combine them all to make the full cover. But the inside can all be the same, right? Because people will buy it anyway. And that is the problem, is that so many mom babies like myself were just so used to the 4 versions with different content that we never questioned that that wouldn't be the case. And I mean, given these descriptions too, like if it said Deluxe Version 1, I might would have been a little more suspicious. But Photo Book 1, Photo Book 2, etc. really clearly implied to me that the photo books would be different. And I blindly trusted that, and apparently I should not have. And that is the other reason I regret pre-ordering, because had I known that that was going to be the case, and had I known that the shipping was going to take so long, I would have just waited and pre-ordered 1 version of the deluxe album and 1 standard version from Target, and that would have been a day. That being said, the album did end up charting at number 5 on the Billboard chart for the week, so I'm not wholly upset at that because I know that I was able to contribute to that milestone, but I really do wish that we had been a little bit more informed on the content. So I'm going to take a look at the standard version first because I feel like there's probably going to be some overlap between these photo books as well. It would not surprise me if the contents in the standard version are in the deluxe version as well. So we're going to take a look at the standard first. That way it's not all repeats. But as I said, I did purchase the Minhyuk version. I do also have some copies of the normal version because those came free with the concert tickets. I am planning to see them for sure at least once this summer. And we're going to have to wait and see closer to time if I'm going to be able to go to a couple others, but definitely I will be seeing them at least once. I already have my tickets and am in the process of planning that trip. But I got the Minhyuk version on my own. I only got the Minhyuk version. I did not get any other members' covers because I figured the contents were going to be the same, and I don't typically buy multiple versions if the contents are exactly the same. But it is very nice looking. I honestly was expecting this one to be just like a standard jewel case or the size of a standard jewel case. But this is actually very nice. It's like a hardcover book kind of format. And most of it is this nice matte texture except the printed signature of Minhyuk is glossy. Really nice effect overall. And these versions are labeled. So there's MONSTA X, Epic, All About Love. This is apparently version 6 of the standard versions. This I don't like. The track listing on the back is just like this really cheap paper that isn't even properly cut to the size of the packaging. And when you move that away, you have this graphic design is my passion kind of back. So I love the front. The spine and the back are a little cheaper looking, but I do like the color gradient. I do really appreciate the color gradient because it's pink transitioning into blue with like the purple in the middle. And that is the color scheme that MONSTA X have been using since the Clan Part 1. Those colors were the colors in their version 1 light stick. I don't know if Epic knew that detail and that's why they picked those colors, or if it's just a coincidence. But I appreciate them using those colors. One thing I will say is there is a flaw on my album. It looks like it got scratched right in the middle of this glossy part. Like you can see the matte through that. So that's a little disappointing. These do come with photo cards, but they're not like typical K-pop album photo cards. And you'll see what I mean by that in a moment. I apologize that I ripped the sticker. But the sticker said that the new album includes hit singles Middle of the Night and Who Do You Love? I don't know if Middle of the Night can be classified as a hit single. I'm not sure how well that one charted. I'm not saying it can't, I'm just saying I don't know. Apparently Who Do You Love got a lot of radio play though. I personally have not heard it on the radio, but I do have friends who have, so I believe that. And it says this is a 40-page hardcover book, which includes a poster and a group photo card. So the normal version doesn't have individual photo cards, it just has the group photo card. Okay. So inside we have some more of that really pretty gradient. I actually really do like the gradient completely unironically. But yeah, I don't know who was in charge of designing this. They made some choices. We'll just say that. So right off the bat, we have a lot of wasted space. I don't even know what... Okay. So we are... Let's see, if we're going to count these as pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages in before we get to a member's picture. And my camera apparently really hates this coloring. It is not this red in person. It does have a red wash to it, but it's not quite this red, and I don't know why my camera wants to show it as that color. We have some pictures of Ju Honey with that lovely font. And then Hyungwon, why this wasted space? I don't understand. The pages are a really weird texture too. It's like really grainy feeling. It's very strange. Have IM. Shonu. Minhyuk. That's actually a very nice picture. I wish it was full page sized. And Kihyun. And how much do you want to bet these are all the pictures we get of them? Oh, no, we have a group photo as well. Okay, I was trying to see if someone was trapped in the crease or if there's really just 4 of them there. But there's really just 4 of them there. Okay. So it's just Shonu, Minhyuk, Kihyun, and Honey. That we can see. It's possible there was someone else in that picture that got photoshopped out, but we have no way of knowing for sure. Then we have the lyrics for Who Do You Love? Love You. Happy Without Me. I really, really like Happy Without Me. That's one of my favorites. Got My Number. Someone, Someone. Middle of the Night. So here I have a quote-unquote full group photo, but it's very apparent that the composition is very off. Like, what is Kihyun's hand awkwardly reaching for? Surely not a person that used to be there and got photoshopped out. No, definitely not. We have She's the One and You Can't Hold My Heart. And I have to say that You Can't Hold My Heart was my immediate favorite upon listening to the album, not knowing any of the credits or anything. And then I looked at the credits and found out it was co-written with John Bellion, which I might be pronouncing wrong, and forgive me if I am. But he is a very talented songwriter and singer who has also co-written Halsey's recent single Graveyard, among other things. I saw him open up for 21 Pilots in concert once, and he was very good. So that explains why this song is so very good, and it's actually the single that they are promoting and sending to radio currently, so I'm very pleased about that, because I really, really like that song. We have Misbehave and Beside You featuring Pitbull. So I guess whatever it is that I am saying will just have to be a mystery, because it's not included in the lyrics of this version. And then we have the lyrics for the remix of Who Do You Love and the credits. So let's see. Art director. Who is to blame for this? Art direction and design was these people. Y'all made some choices. That's all I have to say there. Okay, yeah, no, this is definitely the picture that Wonho got photoshopped out of. Because there's no way they would take a picture of 4 members and a picture of 2. There's no way. They would have done it, you know. And they wouldn't have done 5 and 2. It would have been 4 and 3. So, that's sad. Still a nice picture, but would have loved to have seen. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, people were not joking about how flipping thin these are. Like, I'm just holding it and it's like bending. So this is the group photo card that you get with the standard album, and I believe it comes with every standard album. And it is so flimsy, it's not even funny. I will say, it feels like matte, like they tried to make it photo card material, but it's just so very thin. And that's the back of it. I mean, MONSTA X has abandoned their unity with their photo card backs anyway, unfortunately, but like, this is not a design they would ever have on a Korean album photo card. Not at all. You can definitely tell it's a completely different creative director here, which is unfortunate. Because that's one thing that they have been consistently good at with their Korean albums, is the design and packaging and photo card design. Okay, so then we have the CD, which America doesn't have those foam things, I guess, so we get this. We get it in a sleeve instead. And it's blue. It's a very pretty shade of blue. I'm not mad about it. And then we have some other extra stuff. I think it might just be a poster. Yes, it is a poster, and it is of that one group picture with the awkward. Oh, it's so small. Okay. So on one side is the questionable album art, and then on the other is this group picture. That's actually kind of cute. I wish Ki-hun's face was not, like, actually bright red. That actually is as red as it's showing up on camera. I thought it was just my camera, and then I looked at it and I'm like, no. Ki-hun and Jonah's faces are actually that red. But other than that, it's cute. I know some people were not super happy with this photo concept. I actually don't mind this photo concept. I don't mind the redlining so much. I do wish they had been more careful with pictures like that. But also, wow, the individual member photos were not great. Like, Joohwan's was fine. Those are both, you know, decently sized pictures. But with Hyungwon, you get one decently sized picture and 2 tiny ones. And then Hyuk, you get 1 decently sized picture and 1 tiny one. It's not very fair at all. So, I mean, that packaging isn't terrible, but they definitely could have got someone from Starship to help out with it. And it's very clear that they didn't. And maybe they should have. Like, it has potential, but it's not up to the standard that we K-pop fans are used to. And now let's take a look at the deluxe versions. I actually don't know if I'm going to open all of these. I haven't decided yet. But they are designed to imitate the look of the Korean albums. Particularly the We Are Here and Are You There style. I'd be very interested to actually hold it up and see if the dimensions are the same. I would imagine they may be. But it's just an overall cheaper version. Like, number one, the album art is just not as good. I'm sorry. I still don't know what it's supposed to be. And it's thinner and just, it's not as well put together. It's just not. And again, we have some of the same blurb on the sticker about the singles. This one has an 88-page photo book. individual member photo cards, a group poster, a Mylar mirrored insert, and a group photo card. And this is version 1 of 4. The back is where it looks the most similar to their Korean albums, I feel like. We have the track listing again, and from the back it actually looks kind of nice, weirdly. Again, it's got that mix of matte and glossy, which that I do appreciate. That makes it seem a little bit more high quality. Probably than it actually is, unfortunately. On the spine, again, we have that gradient, which I actually unironically like. MONSTA X version 1, All About Love, epic. But, like, the typeface on it, that's so very Western. Like, MONSTA X's K-pop albums do not look that simple on the sides. Okay, so it looks like we get all our extra stuff in this little side pocket. Which, again, not something a K-pop album would quite have. So this is our lyrics booklet, which is separate from the photo booklet. That same picture again. See, I honestly wonder, maybe this is giving them too much credit, but I wonder if the original plan wasn't to have a different photo shoot for each one, and then when Wonho left, and whoever made the decision they had to be photoshopped out of everything, realized how much photoshopping they were going to have to do, they were like, well, we're not doing that for every single picture. We're going to Photoshop these pictures, and you're just going to have to use those everywhere. Because I feel like they had to have taken more pictures than this. You would think. Like, surely they didn't just take, like, 2 group photos. Or maybe they did. I don't know. I don't work for Epic, obviously. I'm sorry. The poster is folded, and the creases are making their faces look really weird. But it's a really weird poster to begin with, because you have all this. Again, graphic design is my passion. And there's some mirror thing inside the album that you're supposed to, like, fold up to read what those say, but I'm not making that effort, I'm sorry. If that didn't have all that on it, that might actually be a cute picture. And then on the flip side, we have this photo shoot, which from what I understand is only seen here and in the photo cards. They don't actually have any pictures of this photo shoot in the album, for reasons I know not. Again, really suspicious composition. Surely someone wasn't standing there and got photoshopped out. Ah, yes, the mirror insert of which I was talking about. There's instructions for that somewhere in here. And the pages on this version feel totally different. They just feel like cheap paper, to be honest with you. They don't feel matte, they don't feel glossy. They don't feel grainy, though. They just feel like cheap paper. Okay, so here we have our photo cards. Oh, they're so flimsy. So this is this group one. Exactly the same as the picture on the poster. And then, so you can see who you got on the back right away. So this is Show News. That's actually cute. And there are some issues with these as well. So the ones I got have rounded corners. There are apparently some that have pointed corners. And people are not sure why. Speculation I've seen is that it might be a press difference. Like the rounded corners might be first press and the sharp corners second press. I genuinely have no idea. But I got rounded corners for both of mine. I got Shonu and I got Hyungwon. And important to note, apparently these fingerprint really damn badly. Well, I don't know, because my Shonu one didn't do that. I don't know if I did this or if this is like how it was, because my Shonu one doesn't have fingerprints like this. But either way, that shows you how cheaply made these are, that they fingerprint that badly. And if that's somebody else's fingerprints, then that's concerning. I actually think it might be somebody else's fingerprints, because it feels, like, differently textured there. Like, did somebody touch this photo card before it was, like, fully dried? Yeah, because, see, I'm holding it down there. And, no fingerprints. So somebody else's fingerprints are all over this one photo card. That's a little disturbing. Epic, am I right? For all our complaining about Starship, now we have somebody else to complain about. I'm sorry, I said I would try to be more positive. But, like, look at how many pages are devoted to just wasted space. It's so sad. So yeah, and I told you there'd be repeated pictures, so here's that awkward duo picture that probably wasn't a duo picture. We had the exact same pictures of Giovanni. I told you they'd be repeated. Oh, but we do have one more. So basically, don't buy the normal versions if you're trying to save money, just buy a deluxe. Indeed, that same wasted space. Okay. Also, again, it looks like that was touched before the ink was dry because there's a spot where the ink is missing. There is totally not a fair distribution of pictures either. We have I am, another blank page, show new, Minhyuk. Okay, we got at least the pictures printed a little bit bigger here. Kihyun. Wow, they really washed his face out, didn't they? That's a nice one, though. That same awkward woman picture. Oh, and then we finally do get a different concept. So this was the Someone single cover photo shoot, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. And the styling for these is also... choices were made. That one looks nice. So we have Shonu. Minhyuk. I kind of like that picture. I don't understand why these pictures are formatted like this. That's a pretty picture of Kihyun. Again, like what? That totally could have been a full page spread, and then that be a picture-in-picture. Honey. Youngwon. I am. And we know Wonho took some pictures. We don't get to see them, sadly. We have Kihyun, Shonu, and Minhyuk. I love his pink sneakers. That's beautiful. And then Honey, I Am, and Youngwon. And then, yeah, Wonho is very, very, very obviously standing here. Because if you look at the car... like, what? That is a Photoshop fail. That is such a major Photoshop fail. And it's, like, kind of embarrassing that they left it like that. Just that really awkward gap. And then this, actually, I believe was... No, I don't know. There was one of these pictures that had actually come out with the Wonho version. So it's, like, super obvious that he's not there. It might have been this one. It might not have. I don't remember. I honestly have not paid super close attention to their US activities like I do their Korean ones. Which is kind of ironic considering I live in the US. Oh, this is a super safe way to package a CD. It's just in this little flap. Just use the foam discs. Come on now. It's not that hard. So that's version 1 of the Deluxe album. And I know I sound like I'm being really, really cynical in this unboxing. And I apologize. I want to be abundantly clear that I'm not being cynical towards MONSTA X in any way, shape, or form. I know they had absolutely nothing to do with the making of these physical albums. And that is why I'm being cynical. Because Western companies and Western labels love to think they can just put out whatever and that K-pop fans will eat it up. And we don't always do a good job of proving that assumption incorrect. To be abundantly clear, you can support a group and an artist and still be critical of the output. Like, I 100% support MONSTA X. You know, I pre-ordered multiple versions of this album because, you know, I love the group and I had faith that the physical copies would be somewhat on par with the Korean albums. That's unfortunately not the case. The album itself is actually good. I have to say, I was actually very critical of the music aspect as well when the first couple singles came out because it was very immediately apparent that there was a shift in their sound. The line distribution on Who Do You Love was so wonky. Kihyun and I.M did not get lines. There was no rapping. I didn't like that it seemed like they were changing their sound to fit Western tastes. And ultimately, that is the case on this album. Like, none of these songs sound anything like something they would release in Korean. They are all very clearly for Western tastes. But on the majority of the B-sides, and even the later singles, like Middle of the Night, the line distribution evened out a lot more. I have mixed feelings about the rappers not getting to rap, because they are one of my favorite rap lines in all of K-pop. That's one of the reasons I am a Monbebe, is because I was so impressed by their rap lines. So it's very disappointing that we have a whole album where that just doesn't exist. On the other hand, this does give Juhani and I.M the opportunity to sing. Like, I didn't actually realize how good of a singer Juhani was until songs like Play It Cool came out, and then this album, obviously. And I.M, even though he's not, you know, the greatest vocalist in the world, obviously, he has a really nice tone, and it's actually utilized really well in a vocal capacity on some of these songs, like You Can't Hold My Heart, for example. He has a really lovely intro verse on that one. And also, in some of their Korean songs after Wonho's departure, I've noticed that I.M has been picking up some of Wonho's vocal lines as well, which is absolutely not the member I would have guessed would get those lines at all. But it really goes to show how much I.M has improved as a vocalist. And like one of the other things I was highly critical about Who Do You Love was that Kihyun didn't get very many lines, but there are so many songs on here where Kihyun just gets to do his thing, and it's so impressive. I really, really love Kihyun's vocals. He's one of my favorite vocalists in all of K-pop. So I do appreciate that we get to hear that from him on this album. So I do enjoy the album. I am happy to support it. I'm glad that it is doing relatively well. Do I think it was necessary? Not at all. I think they absolutely could have gone the rest of their career without needing to do an English album. But they did one, and I'm going to support it, because I actually do enjoy it. Even though I did have mixed feelings about some of the decisions made regarding it, it's still a good album, and it very well could be the last album that we get to hear Wonho's voice on, unfortunately. So I am glad it was released because of that. Because you know any Korean stuff they may have had in the vault, you know his voice was immediately stripped from and re-recorded if the song wasn't just scrapped completely. I'm going to take a look at version 2 just to confirm if the photo books are the same and to see the photo card pulls. Okay, so I did get different photo cards, that's good, but see, look! I got these albums all together, and these ones are square! What the heck? Oh, actually, no. Oh, it's even weirder. Okay, so Juhani's is square. I.M's is rounded. What the heck? So it's not a press difference thing, because these just came out of the same album. That is so incredibly bizarre. Epic, what is you doing? And the group card is the same for all of them. They didn't even try there. But yes, the photo book is exactly the same. Can confirm. So I am going to open up a couple more albums, just to try and get Kihyun and Minhyuk's cards, because presently I collect Kihyun, Minhyuk, and I.M. Okay, awesome. Next album I opened, I got Shonu's again, but I also got Minhyuk's. So that is Minhyuk's card. So let's hope I pull Kihyun in this last album so I don't have to trade. I wasn't planning on opening all four, honestly, but in the hopes of pulling Kihyun, I will. But with that being said, I am only going to be keeping one of these albums since they are exactly the same. So if anyone is interested in purchasing my extras, let me know and we can work something out. US only though for albums, because international shipping is really expensive, unfortunately. Ah, darn. Unfortunately, I did not succeed in pulling Kihyun. I got every other member. Got another Hyungwon. That one is not fingerprinted to death, so that's good. And I got another Shonu. Nunu loves me today. And again, Honeys was the only one I got that was square. That is quite bizarre. That is it for today's unboxing. I apologize for getting a little bit ranty with it, but I hope you still enjoyed. If you would like to see more unboxings or K-pop hauls like this one, you can check out the other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.